that's a mess. And have all the others empty.
Because I love the poltergeist can't really, it can move wardrobes around, but it can't open the door to put it in another room.
Yeah.
Poltergeist going, oh, I'm just making this room messy. I wish someone would open the door so I could, go on.
Yeah, but, so all this stuff's in this room.
So they moved all their furniture into
everything,
one
they
room?
put, like, the drawers in there and everything, and it was really uncomfortable, because they were all, like, on top of each other.
They sat in the room with all the stuff?
Yeah, they had to, because that's where the three-piece suite was.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Right?
Oh, God.
So they sat there, like, all crumpled up and that, but nothing can move because it's so tight. I think things were trying to move, but everything was so tight. It's
They
just
foxed that poltergeist.
So anyway, one night they sat there, like, sort of a bit awkward watching the telly and that, and they hear some banging in the next room. So she goes, oh God, what's that?
Oh, he hadn't moved in, had he, the ghost?
So
to some of the empty rooms.
So there's this
He's moved some friends and family in.
There's this banging about going on.
No,
so she gets up, right?
Yeah.
And what it is, they had the baby in the next room because there wasn't much room for the cot.
Right, so they left the baby with the ghost.
So they go into the room where the baby is, and the banging is like, do you know those plastic balls you get that you can chuck around the room and, like, they go mental?
Right.
The ones that you chuck once and they keep bouncing for ages. That was bouncing around the room.
Wow, what, the baby had thrown it?
Hitting all the walls, and the baby was there, stood in the cot, sort of laughing.
Right.
And looking at the ball, and wherever it looked, the ball went.
Yeah.
And then she said, stop doing that.
Yeah.
And the ball just stopped.
Did it?
And it rolled a bit and stopped.
Right. So the baby had thrown the ball and it was watching it as it bounced around the room?
It wasn't throwing it, it was in control of it.
No, the point is, Steve, the baby has been doing it. Would have been the baby all along.
The baby had been messing with the furniture. It was
So
a baby
it's a
that had
super
the power.
baby.
Yeah, it's a baby that had the power.
Special baby.
It's a baby that had the power. It's
What
a baby that had the power.
What's
the
the
power
power?
of telekinesis.
Right.
They were then trying to convince me that telekinesis was not like all the other stuff that I didn't believe in, but that was a science.
Right.
Telekinesis was possible.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not like ghosts and demons and all that sort of. Telekinesis is different.
Yeah,
That's a science.
But Nick's auntie saw it, and
I love the fact that you're telling me that someone else's auntie saw it. So I should be satisfied with that.
Yeah.
I should be satisfied with that. I mean,
no.
So does she still live in one room with all her possessions?
No, I think
the baby grew out of it, apparently.
it grew
The
up.
baby grew out of it.
So it doesn't use its telekinesis powers anymore?
Well, no, it's like in Carrie, innit? She was upset for a bit, and then she got over it.
Okay, I'm just gonna say one thing, Carl. That was a film. Do you want to play a record or? Got free. Alright, on XFM 104.9. Can I just tell you a story that Carl told me a couple of weeks ago?
Is this another ghost story? Another
Yeah,
spooky
it is,
story?
yeah. I called him out. I was, what are you doing? He said, I've just been reading ghost stories again. He said, you don't believe in them, but how do you explain this? So I went, go on. He said, I'll tell you as he told me it. He went, bloke, right, just sitting at home, doing, watching telly with his cat. And, the phone rings, and it's a bloke going, is that fire, in your oven okay now? 'Cause your wife called. And Carl went, well, 1, there was no fire in the oven. 2, he wasn't married. I went, right. Go on, he went, well. Then, right, there was a knock at the door and there was 2 sort of people in sort of white coats and they came and said, we've come about that fire. Your wife called us. He went, 1, there isn't a fire in my oven, and 2, I'm not even married. Alright? And he said, they saw the cat and they looked at the cat. It looks a bit weird at the cat came out. And he said, and then he went back and sat down, phone rings, and they said, did they sort out the fire in the oven that your wife told us about? He went, 1, there is no fire in my oven, 2, I haven't got a wife. And Carl went, what do you think of that? I went, that's not it. He went, yeah. I went,
That's it. The story.
What? He went, well, how'd you explain that? I went, explain what? I thought he was going to say, a year later he got married but she died in an oven fire. Right? I thought it was a bit that, and I went,
That's
what?
people winding him up.
Yeah, or someone did report a fire oven and their name was Johnson and they looked up Johnson, they got the wrong thing as the gas board, right? And they sent it round to the wrong person, right? You know, he went, yeah. I said, I explained it to him, he went, yeah. Why did they look at the cat funny?
Oh, man alive, Carl. This is really weird, right? I was, I was in my house once, right, and the doorbell rang.
Yeah.
Right, I opened the door and there was no one there.
Yeah.
Right, and then I looked across the street.
There's some
right,
kids
and there were some
running-
kids running away.
Yeah.
Now, how do you explain that?
Yeah.
There was another time, right, where like I opened the door and there was a bird goes, "You've ordered pizza." I went, "I haven't ordered pizza," and I heard my mate upstairs giggling and putting the phone down.
Yeah. How do you explain that? Carl, seriously, why did you tell me that story? What did you think it was weird about that?
The fact that it was 3 different people.
Is this all the information? Is that the entire story?
It was 3 different people.
Did you fall
hassling
asleep
him
and not read
about
the end?
A fire that didn't happen, about a wife that didn't exist, and a cat that didn't look happy.
Oh, I'm gonna have a heart attack, Carl. What? I mean, why did they look at the cat funny?
Because cats don't like spirits, do they?
What? And the other blokes were ghosts?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
So these are kind of beetle about type ghosts. These are ghosts who walk the earth as the undead, just winding people up slightly.
That's lovely. That is lovely.
seriously,
And a cat
Carl-
that did not look happy.
But seriously, why would ghosts wander around just like winding people up?
Oh,
Maybe something did happen there years ago. Some fire, some woman might have died in the house of a fire or something.
Yeah.
And it sort of all happened again. Bit of
Yeah.
a-
Yeah, it's certainly a mystery. It's
I mean, if you
certainly
don't-
it's a mystery. I mean, I can't.
What's this book you were reading? You were reading a book, which is interesting enough.
It was the Fortean Times.
Oh, Carl.
Yeah. Well, I
Man
don't
alive.
know what to say.
Well, I'll tell you this, Carl. There is a track that will spook you right out. This is Warren Zevon from what was it, like about 1979, early 80s?
Oh, great track.
Werewolves of London. Play this, Carl. But don't be scared. From 1978, Carl, Werewolves of London by Warren Zevon. Are you a fan of that?
So I don't know.
Great track, isn't it?
Fans of Warren Zevon, maybe if you know he's got a new album out as we speak. Although, if you're a fan, you probably know that already.
Yeah.
If you aren't a
People
fan,
who hate him would
Yeah.
be interested
Would
in
be-
knowing
yeah.
that he's got a new album out.
Yeah.
Do you believe in? I think
Werewolves.
lycanthropy. Is it not called
What's that, sorry?
lycanthropy?
What's lycanthropy?
Isn't that werewolfism?
Really?
Isn't it? Do you believe in that, Carl?
They've found stuff, haven't they? They've found kids walking about who are all hairy because they've sort of grew up with wolves and that.
Yeah.
So
No. You see, 2 things there. Right. You cannot take on acquired characteristics genetically. So if you grew up with wolves, it wouldn't suddenly make you hairy.
there's been pictures, there's been stories on it, and I reckon most people have, or a lot of people have seen the stories. It's a popular thing.
You mean the kids that are born hairy?
No, there's kids who have been born hairy, right?
Yeah, that's it.
No, but listen, and they walk around on all 4s, and they drink milk from a saucer.
Steve, this is
No,
too
remember,
easy.
remember that time with the maggot in the head?
Yeah.
And getting out with bacon, and you were like laughing, and then people called up and said, "Yeah, I've seen that. I've read about that."
Yeah,
this
but
is the
have
same
you-
thing.
Have you seen an XFM listener up close? Have you ever looked?
They
studied?
drink milk from a saucer.
Yeah, they've got to be kept on leads. People who listen to this show.
There's no point me telling you about stuff.
There is. It's comedy
You see,
gold.
when you were at school, did you keep arguing with the teacher saying you're talking rubbish there?
Teachers didn't teach us about werewolf boys and ghosts. They taught us maths. God, right. Tell the story about the manhole cover.
Right, in the same magazine as the one with the cat and the fire and that.
Don't tell me that story again, it gives me the shit.
Yeah, a cat that's got a weird expression on its face is against God.
Anyway, this isn't a scary story. This was just like
Get
physics.
explained.
Physics.
Yeah, yeah.
It was going on about the nuclear bomb and how powerful it is. And they put a manhole cover on top of one. Blew it up.
Yeah.
Never saw the manhole cover again.
Man alive, Carl. Unexplained.
What's going on there? Something weird is happening there. Oh.
If anyone has ever seen that manhole cover,
Yeah,
please
yeah.
get in touch. We'd love to know where it is.
Oh, that's fantastic. What sort of experiment is that? I imagine all these scientists on multi-billion-pound research budgets, they're going, we test everything. What would you do to manhole cover? Don't know.
That's like letting a couple of students.
Yeah, exactly,
have
yeah.
control of a nuclear
Do you reckon it can
Let's
send a
put this
traffic
cone,
cone
yeah.
into orbit? Go on then, put it on there. I love that. Imagine that. What? what value is that? I might tell you what we could do. We could put the manhole cover on it and aim it, and then blow the bomb up, and the manhole cover would have someone's eye out. Fire it. See if you can fire manhole covers off the nuclear bomb. Whatever. Try bangers to a bomb. See if it's louder. Oh God.
Okay, listen, Carl, play another track, and then afterwards, can we probe your views on the week's news?
If you want.
We'll do a bit of a White Van Carl session.
Hopkins. Today is the greatest, because we're back.
That's true enough.
Alright.
I hope people, Rick, were listening to that loud in this lovely summer's day.
I mean, no, not too loud.
Well,
don't
don't
annoy people. White Van Carl.
Yeah, White Van Carl. I mean, for those that don't know, we do this...
we ask Carl the questions that the Sun asked someone else.
That's right, the Sun every day asks some, average Joe, his views on the week's big stories. Carl, let me ask you now, what do you make of Prince Harry smoking openly at a polo club?
No, was it? Go on.
Prince Harry, you know that he's one of the royals.
Yeah.
And he was seen smoking openly, a fag, a cigarette, at a polo club.
Third in line to the throne.
Something like that, yeah.
Imagine that. Someone smoking a cigarette is third in line to the throne.
A cigarette, Carl.
Is it a non-smoking polo club?
Do you know, I don't know, but if it were, would that make things even worse for you? No, seriously, what do you make of it? This is, the whole, the furore is he's a role model, he's a royal, should he be seen puffing away in a public place?
I don't think it matters, does it?
Not a concern for you?
How old is he? Is he old enough to smoke?
I think he probably is, yes.
Right, yeah.
Well, I think the trouble with this role model thing, with anything that's legal, it should either be illegal or not.
Yeah.
I just don't think you can impose things like that, because you could say that it is bad for you, and it is bad to start smoking, and it really is bad for you, it causes cancer and everything.
But everyone knows that, don't they?
Well, yeah, but you should either make it illegal or shut up about it. So this is Carl you're asking, isn't it?
I am indeed. So we can throw these questions your way as well if you fancy.
Right, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But Carl, what are your views generally? I mean, it's obviously cigarettes are perfectly legal and so on, but what about stronger narcotics? Because I know you're very scared of drugs and stuff, aren't you?
I'm not a fan.
No, what's your concern? What's your worry?
Just that you might get into them. It's like you might have them and go, oh, this is alright.
Exactly, Carl. Exactly.
Although I was talking to you about it earlier, and you weren't very sympathetic about a lot of young people who have perhaps gone to crack or smack. Didn't you describe it as their own fault?
Sometimes it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I could have turned to it where I grew up, but I said, well, don't want to do that, it's not good for you.
Sure.
And I avoided it.
You turned to ghosts.
So you've got no sympathy for anyone who's a drug addict? It's their own fault, is your...
It depends, doesn't it?
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? You can be an addict if, I don't know, something... I'm trying to think of a nice way that
well,
you
most
might
people start on stuff like that because something really traumatic's happened to them. Very few people go out for a laugh one night and go, let's all try it.
Sure.
So, but... Yeah.
Just say no, I suppose, is the
just say no, listen to the cast of Grange Hill.
Now, this will scare you. Now, Carl, you will be a little bit unnerved about this. Have you seen the film Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
You know what happened there? Well, according to the Sun here, it says scientists are planning to clone mammoths for a theme park. Look at his face, look at that, he looks like a dog caught in the headlights of a car, he's terrified.
I love Carl.
He sprung to attention there.
Is that the best news you could have?
Man moths.
Right,
yeah, man moths.
I love the fact that that's why he was so excited that they bred a man moth. What is this? Yeah, it's a human being that hides in your wardrobe and eats the entire jacket in a day.
Yeah.
What do you mean, man moths? Mammoths. Mammoth, the big hairy cow from the Ice Age. I mean, elephant.
You're not so excited about that, then? You can take or leave bringing back mammoths to life, but a man moth...
A man moth is a different matter. Oh. If we'd have never brought that up, he'd have gone and told someone now, I've bred an half man, half moth.
This is what we mean.
That's how things start.
This is what we mean when you hear these ghost stories.
Are you slightly deaf? Is that it? When you hear these stories, you're slightly deaf. And his head was in the basket, and he went, count how many times I blink. Is it...
Carl, is English your first language? Are you actually foreign? Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Should we speak
when we say
slower?
foreign, we mean not of this planet.
Yeah. Should we speak slower? Would that be a help to you?
No, go on. Next
what do you
one.
make of that?
Do you think that's good? Do you think that's good to bring back mammoths?
Prehistoric animals.
These giant elephants.
They're slow, aren't they? It's not as if they're going to, like, get out and run fast and they can't capture them.
They'd probably be a fence, to be honest, Carl. They'd probably be a fence.
No, but you're asking it as if, like, oh, it could all go wrong, but it couldn't, could it?
Well,
really.
but the point was about Jurassic Park is they thought it wouldn't go wrong. They thought they had it all under
Yeah,
control.
well,
and
that
they
was
didn't.
You learned
Dinosaurs.
nothing from Jurassic Park, Carl.
Dinosaurs would say, "Oh, think about it before you do it." But with a airy elephant, it's not gonna.
Not a concern for you. Would you go along to see him? Would you be interested in that?
If it was in the area.
He's great, isn't he? I'd love a queue,
Nothing
right?
impresses
No,
him.
but what I'd like to do is Carl sitting like Yoda in a little cave, and I'd just like to see people like Tony Blair and Stephen Hawking in a queue, and they go and say, "Carl, got a bit of a problem."
Yeah,
And
thinking of cloning a man and a moth.
Yeah.
Problem? Not an issue. No, if I'm in the area, I might cruise around and have a look at it. Otherwise, just don't send it near my clothes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So it's just for a second. As the words "man moth" came into your head, how excited were you? I mean, were you both terrified and excited? For the moment when you thought that they'd cloned a man and a moth.
I pictured
What kind of face did he have? Did he have the moth's head, or was it a man's head?
just a little man head.
Right. What was his face? What did it look like?
He just was like a bit shocked.
Perplexed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like he'd been grafted onto the body of a moth without his consent.
And when he was asleep,
Yeah, he'd woken up.
he just went in for to have a goiter removed,
Yeah.
and they said, "We've
He
replaced
woke
your
up with
goiter with the body of a giant moth."
Yeah.
Is that all right, Mr. Jenkins?
So he had the head of a little. Was it a little boy or a man?
Little man,
Right. Okay.
and he's just bumping into a lamp.
Just running into the.
If you went into hospital and they'd done something, what's the worst thing they do, right? What would you rather have done, right? You wake up and you've got lobster claws for hands.
Right.
You wake up and you've got duck's feet. Or you wake up and you've got one horn coming out of your head.
The worst thing,
Yeah.
probably the horn coming out of my head.
Why?
Get in the way.
That'd be useful, wouldn't it, in fights and stuff? And for like parties, people play
Well, I suppose
quoits.
the lobster claws would also be quite handy there.
Definitely.
That little motorcycle club, spread your love. You enjoying it so far?
Yeah, I suppose so.
First show back.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's great to be
I'm
back.
just thinking about that money, Rick, to be honest. It's
I
still
know,
playing on my mind.
I know, yeah.
Could we maybe get like a sort of telethon type thing going, or a little charity thing, just sort of help me pay?
You can't really ask people to send you money. It's
Really?
technically begging.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. is
Unless
there
you're
any way-
are you a registered charity?
I suppose not. Not really.
We could probably get you status.
Yeah. But could I promise? I mean, could I pretend to give them something in return? I mean, am I allowed to sell things on the radio?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, so-
Although you probably get in trouble with the authority if you're using it to sort of like to your own.
Totally.
Not like everyone else doesn't.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Free lunches and
Yeah.
sponsorship and
Yeah,
God knows
yeah,
what.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Probably the people that work here, small fry, the scum.
Exactly. The nobodies. Yeah.
Yeah.
But 165 quid is it's quite a lot of money. So I mean, if you want to contribute anything, Rick, as I said before, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, no, I would if I felt any responsibility
Right. Yeah,
or cared.
sure.
But yeah, I got there too early, which is annoying. What we should have done really was get you your plane and come back because I'd have had time.
Do you know, I was going to mention it at the time, but I didn't want to because I knew the answer would be no. So
Oh, Carl. I've had a great time. I've forgotten how good it was just to have a normal just to have a conversation with you. Have you been looking forward to this? He's really down today, isn't he?
He's down, man, isn't
Just
he?
a bit tired.
But it's interesting because I said to him, did you enjoy Edinburgh? He spent the week up in Edinburgh,
Yeah.
obviously, and he said, well, he loved it up there. He's been partying every night, and he actually enjoyed it. And I've never met him when he's actually enjoyed anything before. He's never enjoyed anything, as far as I know. And I'm depressed that we weren't involved.
His paper round.
He loved the paper round, and this is the first time.
Yeah, he was
since
talking to me about that the other day as well. But I said, he really thinks that paper round he had when he was 14 was the best job he'd ever had.
Yeah.
He still thinks the best job because he said he was his own boss. Well, no, you weren't. He went, well, I could get on a bike and think. And he said, I bet if I phoned those people who I delivered the papers to, they'd say it was the best delivery they've ever had. He said, in fact, I bet a lot of them have chucked in delivery because it went downhill. This is all. He's thinking this as he went along.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Yeah.
Imagine phoning someone up and saying, you don't remember me, but I used to deliver your paper 10 years ago. Was it the best delivery service you've ever had?
No, but if I said I delivered it 10 years ago, you used to, if you got up at like 6 in the morning, it was there for you.
Yeah.
There's no other paper boy who could guarantee that they'd have that paper when they got
Carl,
out
if
of
you
bed.
could earn enough money, would you do a paper round again? If that was your job, but you were being paid enough to make a living from it, is that something you think about? Do you think you'd enjoy it as much nowadays?
Yeah, I reckon I would, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, listen to some music.
Sure.
£1,000 a week, would you do the best at...
Yeah.
Would you really?
Yeah.
Is there anyone out there who is willing to test that? Is there anyone who's willing to pay Carl, right,
grand?
some of a grand,
Yeah.
to take a week off work and deliver papers just for that week?
All day, though. It's all day.
No. I'll
What?
get up and the